Welcome, ladies and gents, to a Man in the Shed podcast. My name is Kirk Ritchie. I am the Man in the Shed. And first of all, I want to apologise to every single one of you wonderful listeners out there. It's been manic. I know I keep using that as an excuse, so I can only apologise for the lack of inspirational words and life-changing quotes that I will give you. But I am back, I am happy, and I am excited to be talking to you all today. So before we get started, I want to give a big shout out to absolutely everyone out there who has been fighting, been struggling, been coming up against some demons. You know, I mean, life is tough. You're going to be fighting a fight that sometimes you think you're not going to win. But do you know what? You just got to keep swimming. As Dory said, you just got to keep on swimming. I apologise for the people that are watching me on YouTube. I just had to plug my old computer in. Yeah, so you just got to keep swimming because, listen, you're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have your brilliant days, and you're gonna have the days where it's really, really frustrating. And what you need to do is just knuckle down and just get through it. Do you know what? It's not easy. Life isn't easy. I know that I've said this on numerous occasions. Life is hard. It's a tough old slog, and we're the lucky ones, though. You know, I mean, we're the lucky ones who have to go, who live it. You know, I mean, we are the ones who have been blessed to be able to walk this earth, shall we say? And I look at my 3 kids, I look at my beautiful wife, and I know just how lucky and how blessed I am. Now, every day is tough, every day is a battle, every day is hard, and I enjoy the battles now more than I have done in a long, long time. A lot of that comes down to me absolutely loving my work and enjoying it, and that's where we're going to go with my ramblings on today. It's doing something that you enjoy and that you love, that actually it doesn't feel like work. You know what I mean? We all know it is work. Everybody knows that you've got to go to work to pay the bills, 100%. Everyone understands that it is what it is. But actually, if you can do something that you enjoy and you love, then it doesn't feel like work. And I have to admit that I'm loving working at Fairfield Halls. I'm loving working in marketing. It's tough, it's a challenge. We fight them challenges every single day, but we just keep going and we keep trying to deliver and develop, and that's all we can do. And that's very much the same as us as a human race. We've got to continue to develop and be honest with ourselves and be honest with each other. And yeah, and that's it. So with reference to working and doing something that you enjoy, big up to the main man. Sorry, Tim, I haven't got the jumper on today. It's a bit warm in the shed. But FCK Couture, Tim Berrington. I love this guy. He's a good egg, and he's working hard to create something a bit special. And you know what I mean, if you're interested in clothing, if you like going out for a rave, you know what I mean, go and have a little look at his website, FCK Couture. I mean, he's an absolute legend, and he provides us with our clothes, and we've got some clothes on his website that we can sell when money goes to charity. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. If you've got the opportunity to give back, give back. So listen, I've just started watching Ted Lasso, and I have to admit I've been blown away by just how brilliant it is. Because I absolutely love it. I think it's superb. I think it's so clever in how it's been written. I honestly think that it's some of the smartest writing that is out there. I think that Hannah Waddingham is a beautiful, beautiful woman, and I think she plays her character superb. I think the guy who plays Ted Lasso is brilliant, but I just think it's all good. I think the actual TV series is good. Some of the language is colourful, but it is what it is. It's football. But I was thinking about some of the positivity that Ted Lasso is, and his character, and he's so positive, and no matter what's going on, he's always seeing the positive side of things, and then when he gets hit with obviously his marriage falling apart, he has the panic attack, and it took me back to, I remember years ago, I had a panic attack in the middle of Tesco's, and if you know Tesco's in Crawley, where the escalators go up right at the back of the store, I was walking around and it wasn't even busy, but I just had this massive panic attack, and I remember hiding right in the corner of the Tesco's, and I can laugh about it now, but it was scary at the time. And I remember I just stood there and I was facing the wall, all the drinks. I was right in the corner because I didn't want anyone to see me. I didn't want anyone to understand that I was panicking and I wasn't in a good place. And a good friend of mine who I've known for, God, too many years, Gavin Hoadley, walked past, and breath of fresh air, Gav. I love him to bits. And what are you doing in there? What are you doing? And obviously I had explained to him that I was having a bit of a panic attack, and I just needed to calm myself down. And he sat down with me. He just sat there, and he waited for me to come out of what I was going through. And he walked me and got me out, and it's brilliant, and I'll be forever indebted to him. But it just goes to show that it can happen anytime, and even these positive people, you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. You have no idea what's going on behind the smiley faces and the laughter and that sort of side of things. And I was thinking about all of these different quotes that he has and he says, and I think that, I mean, I've got a couple that I'm picking out, and they just struck a chord with me, and I just think that they're brilliant. I think that there are the first quote that I'm gonna mention and I'm gonna talk about. Is this one, and it says, taking on a challenge is a lot like riding a horse, isn't it? If you're comfortable while you're doing it, you're probably doing it wrong. And that's life. I mean, life is a challenge, you know what I mean? And but if you are comfortable in life, then you're not necessarily doing it wrong, but you might be doing it right. I mean, you might be the ones, and us guys and girls who are out there struggling, we're the ones that are doing it wrong. But I love this quote because it just made me laugh. You know what I mean? Taking on a challenge is a lot like riding a horse. If you're comfortable while you're doing it, you're probably doing it wrong. Now, I've never ridden a horse, but I can't imagine them being that comfortable. But I think that any challenge, anything that gets thrown up in life, you know what I mean, if you do it to the best of your abilities, and you do it with a big smile on your face, and you do it with that positivity, then you are controlling your destiny. And I think that's brilliant, and I think that's perfect, and I think that is the way that we need to look at life. You know, I mean, every single opportunity that comes at us is an opportunity for us to grow, to learn, to develop, to review, to basically just get control of. And yeah, that's one point that I would say, Ted Lasso, you've nailed it again. This one I totally agree with. The quote goes, as the man once said, the harder you work, the luckier you get. Is that true? I mean, is that actually true? The harder that you work, the luckier you get. I think the harder you work, the easier the results are. And I say it to the kids, and I say it to my boys who I do football with, and I say it to Grace. I sort of said, you need to practice every single day like it's a cup final. You need to practice every single day that you're getting watched by every single scout. The practice, if you do the basics to perfection, then when you actually get into that situation, it's going to be easy, and you're gonna fly through it. So I think by working really, really, really hard, you don't get luckier, you just get better at doing the basics well. And I think that's the same that everyone can do. And I think that what we need to remember is we're all human. and the art of communication for these youngsters that are coming through now, it's limited. And so if you love talking and you love being the center of attention, be the center of attention, but do it with the right attitude. Listen, with everyone working remotely and working from home, it got really hard in actually being able to talk to people. So when you get into the office, have a conversation. I mean, set aside 10 minutes to just sit, or 5 minutes to just find out how your people are doing, because that conversation is going to be gold. Oh mate, I love this one. This quote from Ted Lasso, I love this. You know what the happiest animal on earth is? It's a goldfish. You know why? It's got a 10-second memory. And I let Daniel and Grace watch Ted Lasso, and I probably won't let them watch anymore because of the language and stuff like that. But I'm so pleased that they watched that quote, because Grace looked at me and was like, I don't get it. And I was like, well, the whole point of it, Grace, was the guy missed an opportunity. And if you let that fester and you let that sit inside your mind and sit inside your heart and sit inside your soul, every single, there's a robin that's just flown up on my fence, and I don't know who it's going to be, whether it's going to be my dad, my mum, Tracy's dad, Grumps, you know what I mean? But whoever you are, I doff my hat to you and thank you for coming to visit us. But yeah, sorry, I literally digressed then. And so I said to Grace, I sort of said, if you have every single opportunity that you miss on a football pitch and it sticks with you, I sort of said, you're never going to finish a game of football. I mean, if you have every pass that you relive in your head, then and you think, oh, I should have done that better. Yeah, you should have done it better, but you didn't. But you can't change it now. It's in the past. You need to wipe your mouth and you need to get on with it. And that's very much the same in life. I mean, there's so many opportunities that just pass you by because you might not even be looking for them. You might be staring too hard for them, but forget about it. You know what I mean? As the famous Donnie Brasco film said, forget about it. That's a fugazi. Forget about it. But I think that quote there really hit home, because it makes us understand that if I've said it before and I'll say it again, if we hold on to every single thing that we could have done, shoulda, woulda, coulda, are the last words of a fool, I think the song is. But it's so true. You know what I mean? I could have been a professional footballer. I didn't. I got into sales and now I'm in marketing. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Don't live with regret in life. You know what I mean? Make sure that you drive forward, and you be, I've said it numerous occasions, you be the best possible person that you can be in life. And that's not necessarily the biggest house, loads of money, loads of cars, you know what I mean, and all, getting your kids all the bottles of Prime, which again, don't be suckered in by it. You know, Prime's bad for you, and we did it with our kids, and you do research on it and then you realise how bad it is. And especially those cans, it's the cans that I can't stand. 2.5 cans of Red Bull in one of them cans of Prime, and you're giving them to kids. Have a think about it. Anyway, just be aware of what opportunities are out there, because there are a mountain of opportunities. You may need to take yourself out of your comfort zone, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with believing in yourself to get out of that comfort zone. And I take my hat off to Luke Harrington, a good friend of mine who we used to go to school with. He's just set up his own catering business, and I want to say it is at Hawley Cricket Club. They do a load of really nice food there, and I want to say it's called Gorillas, as in grill. You're grilling like a barbecue. Really clever. So if you're out and about in Hawley, get over to Hawley Cricket Club and tell him that Kurt Ritchie, a man in the shed, sent you, and he'll probably put some more spices on and charge you double. So again, support a local business. Next quote from Ted Lasso that made me smile, and I'll tell you the quote now. If the Lasso way is wrong, it's hard to imagine being right. And that was from Trent Crimm, The Independent. And it's, what's wrong with trying to be nice? What's wrong with seeing the good in people? What's wrong with being that person who is out there clapping and cheering and setting the tone and setting the bar of positivity? Because, as I've said on numerous occasions, life is tough, and you need positive people to surround yourself with. And if you don't surround yourself with positive people, then what are you gonna surround yourself with? What are you gonna surround yourself with? And it's, you just got to do it. You've just got to be strong, be determined, be brave, as I've said. And when you find that passion, you've got to give it absolutely everything. And as Danny Rojas said, football is life. Football is life. And I don't know where he's from, but it is true. And you need to find something that you love and you will honour and you will be willing to die for. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to surround yourself with really, really good people. You've got to surround yourself with good vibes, and I get that. And I think sometimes life does get you down, and life does like to kick you when you're down and you think that there's no way out. But trust me, there is a way out. Yeah, there is always a way out, and you need to be positive enough and brave enough to have the conversation to find the right way out. Now, the right way out for you may be the wrong way out for hundreds of other people. I mean, running away might be the right option. Giving it time and space might be enough of an option to actually find out where you're going, what you're doing wrong. Can you come back from this? And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You will come back. Next quote from Ted Lasso that I love: if you care about someone and you got a little love in your heart, there ain't nothing you can't get through together. Mate, what a quote. I mean, I care about a hell of a lot of people. You know, I mean, I look at my lads who I manage football wise. You know, I mean, I care for all of them, and I guess in my own crazy special way, I love all of them to bits because they're so strong-willed and strong-minded, and they listen, and they're like little sponges. You know what I mean? The little bits of advice that I give them, they do listen to it. And I always say to them that if you want to play as individuals, go and join the circus. You know what I mean? That's not my team. I mean, you want to play as a team and you want to be part of a footballing family. You know what I mean? That's where you hit me there. So, you know, if you care about someone like you do with your work, your family, your friends, and you've got a little love in your heart for them, you know, we've got little love and we've got big love. There's nothing that you can't do together. There's nothing that you can't do to get through the bad times, to get through. And there are bad times out there. You know what I mean? There's no two ways about it. You just got to surround yourself with good people, and love them, and yeah, and just, you know what I mean, again, believe. The biggest thing from Ted Lasso is believe in yourself. If you've got no belief in yourself, how are you meant to inspire other people? How are people meant to believe in you? Because if you haven't got that belief on you're gonna get there, you're gonna develop, you're gonna grow, you're gonna be the best you can be, you got to believe that. And even if it's pie in the sky, and even if you have the imposter syndrome, believe that you are the person that you say you are. I mean, and trust you are the person that you say you are. Because if you do that, then only good things will come about. And I think that the last one that I'm gonna leave you with is, I believe in hope. You got to. There's always going to be times when jealousy is going to take over your mind and your body and your soul, and hatred is going to take over your mind, body and soul. Despair, depression, you're not good enough, and all that lot. But Jesus, you have to believe in hope. even if it's just I bloody hope that this moment passes very quickly. Because if we don't believe in hope, and if we have no faith in hope, and if we don't think that hope is gonna one day shine a beautiful self down on you, then makes the journey really hard, and it makes the race that you're gonna run, Jesus, that's gonna be tough. Now, we're not David Goggins who runs 7,000 miles every single day just because he can. The reality of life is we're going to work and work and work until we are 75, and then we're going to retire for 5 years if we're lucky, and then we're going to die. So we're going to work 45, 50 years to enjoy 5 years worth of retirement. I play football on a Wednesday night with a wonderful man who's been able to retire at the age of 56, and he's got his life ahead of him because he's worked hard and he's believed in hope, and he's been sensible in the way that he's done it. Or he's married a beautiful rich woman who's just said, don't worry about work anymore and I'll look after you and I'll be your sugar mummy. I like to think it's the first one. But the big point of it all for me is be positive in a world where positivity, is it frowned upon? I mean, is positivity frowned upon now? I would probably say, yeah, you would look like an outsider if you were really positive and really happy all the time. But do you know what? The world needs people like you, because there's going to be one person out there who isn't positive. There's going to be one person out there who is struggling, and they need the positivity of hope to shine through and to be the beacon of light and love. And no matter how well or unwell your life goes, remember that you've got a friend in me. But I'm going to leave you with a bit of self-analysis of myself. I'm going to leave you a bit of self-analysis of me, Kirk Ritchie. As a football coach, I am very loud and I am very aggressive, and I know that that's not the best way that I can get the very best out of my lads. And I'm learning every single day, as I am a parent and as I am a marketing manager and as I am a football manager and as I am a referee. And I've beaten myself up over this for the last week, that just chill out. Just chill out, Winston, because you never know what's around the corner. Listen, I'm off to Leeds Monday and Tuesday with Daniel and Grace. They're playing in a national football tournament, and I couldn't be more prouder of them. The same I am with Luke when he got his grading for doing what he did in his martial arts. And I'm massively proud of my wife for continuing to be the best woman that I know. She is my inspiration. And on that note, I think she's finishing work at BDO, so a massive shout out to all the BDO massive. Massively sorry that it's taken me so long to actually sit in the shed and do a podcast for you. Tom, forgive me. But I do need to go because I promised her that I would put the washing away before I went out to football training. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, it's been an absolute honour and a privilege to be back on the radio waves, on the podcast waves. My name is Kirk Ritchie and I am a man in the shed. Ta-ra.